We're teaching a man how to fish rather than giving a man a fish. The old idiom. Is that an idiom? I don't know. This is gonna be part of the draft guide, which is out by the time you're watching this. So, what I want to do is show you how to use the FanGraphs Auction Calculator. People ask me like, "Can I use? Do you have any tools that make me get ranks for my specific league settings?" And I don't. I don't know how to develop such a tool. I think I'm about to sneeze, so be ready for that. I don't have a mute button. Very sick right now. I mean, not very sick because I'm doing this, but anywho, I don't have that, but Fangraphs does, and it's better than anything I can come up with, or at least as good, but better for now, without a doubt. You can't use my projections for it, but that's okay because, as I've admitted, my projections aren't anything special as compared to ATC and the Bad X. So you're probably better off just using those. I would use ATC for pitching, Bad X for hitting. That's my strategy. So let's use the action calculator to get some ranks for non-standard leagues. I always have to hide my bookmark bar. I don't know. There's nothing nasty on there, but I feel weird people seeing my private bookmarks. But you saw them already, so that's okay. All right, so here it is. You have to like you saw there. I went to Fantasy Auction Calculator. So let's imagine that you play in. Let's just take the really normal situation, and we'll say, well, no, let's do something weird. I guess. Let's say that you are playing in a league with not batting average, and we'll do OPS instead of batting average. Someone actually asked me about this. And we'll do, how about stolen base differential? So you kind of lose some points for a caught stealing. And then on the pitching side, let's say that you're using K per nine and saves plus holds. How about that? So let's say this is your league setup. You can also do this for points leagues. I'm just going to focus on categories leagues. I think that's more common. Go ahead and change to your starters. This is kind of shows you, okay, does your league start two catchers? Change that to two. Do you have a middle infield spot? Change that to one. I think most leagues probably do. These make very small differences, but it does change the player pool and the position weights, so you should get this right. Let's say we're going 6 starters, 3 relievers, and then, I don't know, we'll drop a bench spot. Just to show you that this is the kind of stuff that you can input to get the right numbers. Position priority, I never mess with that. Just leave that alone. I don't think it makes a difference. But if you really do want to, I don't know, maybe we don't care about catcher since it's one catcher league in this hypothetical. Maybe we want to make sure we get some middle infielders. Whatever. I think that makes a very small difference. So then you select your projections. Let's just use, I can't pick one for hitting, one for pitching. You would have to do this extract twice to do, so just go through this twice if you want to take my advice and use ATC for pitching and the Bad X for hitting. But anyway, let's go through this. Let me get some stuff ready here. So Bad X projections, league, you can even do NL and AL only there if you have that kind of league. You can put in your qualifieds, like if you need at least, if there's minimums set in your roster construction or whatever. Put in your, if you're in an auction league, this is important if you're doing an auction draft, because then you'll actually be able to use these numbers to know what to bid in your auction draft. But generally, if you're just doing a snake draft, it doesn't matter what you said here. You'll just be looking to compare the numbers together, right? Like this might spit out that Otani's a $25 player. That doesn't mean anything in a snake draft because you're not actually bidding, but it'll tell you, okay, he's $5 better than the guy in the second round, whatever. So it's more about projecting. It's more about the numbers comparing players together rather than what the actual raw value is. But I think people probably understand that. You can add keepers in here as well. That would just take them out of the calculation and assign their dollar value to other players. But we'll leave that for now. So that's it. I mean, you just fill in your league settings and then hit this button, generate projections. Here it is, and then you have to export once for batters, export once for pitchers. You might have to be a FanGraphs member for this, so maybe I'm speaking to, maybe this won't even help most of you, but I don't know. Like I said, it's like $20 a year or something for FanGraphs, and even if you just subscribe for 1 month for, I don't know, like $5-10 or something like that, then you can just get this data and then unsubscribe or whatever. So I will always want to keep saying, like, support FanGraphs. It's worth the money, certainly. Here's the result. So this is kind of what you're going to want to deal with. And maybe we can do some Excel, just to kind of show you how to get this in a usable format. If you're not very data savvy, I'll teach you a couple things here, because this looks pretty useless, right, to a normal person. But first we can see that these names are weird. That's because special characters. Jose Ramirez has the E with the accent, right? Luckily for us, FanGraphs a couple of years ago added this column with no special characters, just the English characters. And we can just go ahead and replace that. So I copied and pasted, just get rid of those weird characters. You can change the name of that if you want. I don't like all of the number formats. Go ahead and change that to no, center that. That's a plate appearance projection, so that can be no decimal places. By the way, I'm hitting Control 1, but what you can do is right-click a column and hit Format Cells, and go ahead to your number, make it look a little bit better. All of these can be 2 decimal places. Center, center. And then the dollar amount, this is the key column. So we're going to make this a currency with 2 decimal places. Again, right-click, hit Format Cells, or you can go to Format Cells at the top menu. Center that. And conditional formatting, you can do that. Here's your IDs. This is the FanGraphs ID. This is the MLB ID. I don't really think you need to worry about that, but we'll leave it here for now. I like to, just to make this really useful, really user-friendly, we should say, is we'll put a border behind the top column. I guess this is just like an Excel tutorial at this point, but that's cool. Freeze top row. I like to go to View and hit Freeze top row, and that means you can scroll down and you won't lose what columns you're talking about. So if you, this will tell you what this should all sum to. Well, not quite. Does it sum 49, 60? I'm not sure how that exactly, but basically this is a value. This is the value in each category. So if you want to look for, if you sort this by M stolen base, caught stealing, this is the value that is derived from that player's stolen base differential. The net stolen bases is what we call that. So Ellie has the highest stolen base projection, so he gets the highest value there. And all of these numbers from the 5 different categories, plus a position adjustment, that's how this results. This is what this dollar figure ends up with. I don't know the exact math, but it's basically in it, summing them up. So there you go. If we want to like move that here, maybe we're just more concerned about the total dollar figure. And then what you can do is, if you really want to, I have the draft buddy that does all this for you, but if you don't have that and you just want to keep this really simple, if you can just, during your draft, hopefully it's like if it's a slower draft where you can actually keep this up, you can make a new tab. Firstly, if we're going to add tabs and do formatting and stuff, we're going to want to change this to an Excel workbook. If you do any kind of formatting or filters or multiple tabs with a CSV file, as soon as you close it, you're going to lose all of that. CSV file formatting is basically a text file, comma separated values. So we don't have to get into the technicals of that, but you're going to lose all the advanced stuff you're doing. So immediately you should be saving this as an Excel workbook, .xlsx or .xls. So important tip there. So let's say you wanted to go ahead and just track your draft. Team, I don't know, and then pick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, we can drop that down to however many, team 1, team 2, team 3, etc., and then you'd want to say it's a snake draft, and we're doing that. You get it. Alright, so let's say the first person goes ahead and takes Shohei Ohtani. So you're filling out your draft here, you're kind of putting all the names in the column there. What you can then do is go over here, add a column, and you can just make an available column, question mark, and you can do a count if the range would be this column, and the value is going to be A2. So what this is doing is it's looking in this column, looking anywhere in the draft tab, column C, and it is seeing if whoever name is in A2 is in there. So since we found Otani, it gives you a 1. Since Judge isn't in there yet, it gives you a 0, but if you go ahead and say Aaron Judge was taken second, then it turns it into a 1. If you would rather that be yes or no, you can do if this is greater than 0, put yes, otherwise put no. I'll leave it to you to, if you want to just pause it here and look at this formula, I think you can figure it out. But anyway, you can even then conditionally format that based on a text that contains yes, make red, so we kind of more easily to know who's available. From there on, then you can set a filter there, get rid of the guys that aren't available, and at any given point, as you're typing out names, you are able to see who the best available is. The filter doesn't update automatically, but you kind of have to go in there and redo it, and then you'll see. So as you go, you'll see the best available. Repeat all these processes for, I'm not going to go through it again for the pitchers, but here's what that raw pitching thing looked like. Same exact situation, just repeat all of that. What we do with the hitters, put them together. You could even just take these two columns and put them all in one list. You know, if you wanted to do that, do like that, and then get rid of the filters, and do like that. Let's just make it all. So you can do that. What happened there? That was weird. So yeah, if you want to put hitters and pitchers together, you can do it in this way, and then you can really just see who the best available overall is because you got all the players together. Repeat the formatting stuff. So we got Otani in there twice, hitter, pitcher, whatever. So yeah, you get it, and that'll show you kind of where guys all line up together. Use that as a tool to draft, and again, you can use pretty much any league setting unless you have some really weird stuff. But all right, that's how you use a FanGraphs Auction Calculator. Figured I'd make that a part of the draft guide. Give you a little bit of help in beating your opponents. So that's it.